What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Land, and if you didn't hear the leak this morning, there is a brand new Mario and Rabbids game called Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. But just now, we finally got the actual reveal of the trailer itself, and it looks amazing. So what we're going to do is go over all the little details and nitty-gritty things that happen within this trailer and talk about how this game looks different from the original and what is added and all the little details that you may have missed. So before we get started, stop what you're doing, hit that like button, and also subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo so that you can be informed about not just Mario Rabbids but everything that's coming from Nintendo's big E3 presentation in just 3 days. Did you do it? Alright, let's jump into the things that you may have missed in the Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope trailer. The trailer starts off by a Rabbids ship flying through the galaxy, and in that ship it's Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Rabbid Peach, but we don't know why they're in the galaxy and why they're flying around. We don't know what's the point of this and why did they even get here, how did they get here, what are they doing together, why are they going throughout the galaxy, we don't know. But they seem to be doing different experiments with Lumas and Rabbids. When combined, they turn into Sparks. Sparks seem to be the equivalent of Rabbid Lumas, and it's very interesting because that might be the main storyline, collecting more Sparks and stuff to power the ship or to use as weapons. I really don't know. And we do get a small glimpse of our new villain, which seems to be the main antagonist this time around, which is completely a new character other than Bowser, which we'll also get to Bowser in a second. But I guess the villain's name is Cursula. Don't quote me on that. I think they said it one time, but it is a completely new antagonist that seems to be killing away all the Sparks in the galaxy, and it's up to the bros, Peach and Rabbid Peach, to go out and save the day. Mario seems to have a new weapon set this time. Instead of just one arm blaster, he has two what seem to be hand pistols that are probably some type of futuristic laser pistols. Rabbid Peach seems to have some type of gun that utilizes her phone with it, so I don't know if she like takes a flash pick with it or something and maybe it stuns the enemy, but it's funny because that was kind of her main gimmick, is always taking photos and selfies of herself, so maybe this is the new way her gun is going to work. This time we also have Rabbid Rosalina here to help us on our journey, even though it seems like she'd rather just sit in that chair and read her book. Yeah, and she has kind of like a makeshift doll Luma with her. Now here we can see 3 Sparks, the regular one, a fire one to the right, and a ice one or a water one to the left maybe. We know that they have different elemental powers, which we'll see later on in the trailer, but just keeping note. We also get another look at a different enemy, and this time it's some type of rabid tiger lion guy with some type of arm cannon thing. I don't know what this is. At first I thought it was a rabid Bowser, but it definitely seems to be some type of lion tiger and one of the new antagonists within this game. Then we see some enemies come through the woods, and they seem to be themed after Shy Guys and Bob-ombs. Well, the Bob-ombs are just straight up Bob-ombs, but the Shy Guys are Rabbids. And if you notice, their eyes are glowing mysteriously red, just like the giant tiger Rabbid that jumped on the ship, which probably means they're under some type of mind control from Cursa. We then get a better look of Cursa in the background as she reveals kind of herself, and she's got like this purple robe, very crystallized, and lots of, I don't know, tentacles or something coming from her. Very weird. I don't know where the hand originally came from. I don't even know what this thing is. And I don't know if there's something under the cloak of Cursa, but yeah, that's the main antagonist. And I'm wondering if maybe it could be like some type of corrupted Rosalina or something, or some type of character that we already know, since we did see they do have some type of hand. So maybe it is somebody that we're familiar with within the Nintendo universe that we have to figure out later on. And maybe they're being corrupted by that purple glowing star on their chest. Once again, just throwing out ideas to the wall to see if they stick. And right before we get into the actual gameplay trailer, we get to see a look at all the heroes' weapons. Luigi has some type of futuristic bow, it looks like. Peach uses an umbrella with a cannon on the top. Rosalina, I have absolutely no clue what that is. Some type of string attached to her plushy Luma. And Mario with his pistols, of course. And Rabbid Peach with her selfie gun, we're gonna call it at the moment. Now, the first area we get to see of the game is pretty much reminiscent of the first game. It's a beach island area that we've seen in the original game and in the Donkey Kong DLC, so this is nothing new, and this is just something that you're probably gonna start off with at a basic level. But what's very interesting, if you notice about the world, is it's a lot more open this time around. In the original game, you went down straightforward paths a lot of the time that branched off into different paths, but this time it looks like you can move around and about anywhere you want. The scene changes very quickly from sunny to rainy, and black goop with vines all over starts appearing all over the place. And this seems like to be, you know, an essence of whatever this enemy is, this black goop appearing. A lot like Bowser's Fury, am I right? But this black goop appears, and I guess it's Mario and friends' job to clear that off and to go to that destination to fight. Well, as you can see, the movement is very similar to the first game. Beepo is back to guide the clan, and this time doesn't ride on the ground, but rather up above the players, which seems as if almost the players' interaction with enemies can be a lot more tangible this time. This time it isn't Beepo controlling, really, and it's the characters that you have to guide to make sure that they don't run into enemies on the overworld, which is, yes, a new thing. There are enemies on the overworld like a traditional RPG. The theme then changes to a snow-themed area with lots of caves and mountainous areas, and of course we have a Shy Guy Rabbit at the top, but nothing else really to talk about here. We then get to see the characters in what seems to be a mansion, which is still taking place in the snow area thanks to the icicles hanging from the walls, and it looks a lot like Twilight Princess's mansion, if you know what I'm talking about. Also, the paintings on the wall, once zoomed in, doesn't show anything specifically important. It's just some picture of like a pirate and some type of planet that maybe you'll be able to visit later on. Then we have some new side characters. One's some type of traveling merchant rabbit that tells you maybe directions as he has a compass above his head, and the other one seems to be some type of Atlantis trident wielding themed rabbit with everything made out of paper and cardboard, which, you know, he seems like he's going to be like a cocky guy that absolutely has no powers. We then get some type of underground tomb where the ink is once again all over the floor, but this time some type of changing colors or something's happening within the ink, maybe spawning some type of enemies. We really don't know. And in the next underground area, we seem to see that tiger enemy again, but maybe it is just an enemy rather than a boss this time. Yes, I may have forgotten to mention for a second, Rabbid Luigi is back for this game, and so is Rabbid Mario, we'll see in a minute, but did you see how we encounter battles this time around? It's overworld occurrences, just like a traditional RPG, and this Bob-omb absolutely rushes you. The new battle area is just pretty much a chunk of where you encounter that battle slapped into a floating slab in the air. It's honestly like a Captain Toad level. And man, the battle system looks like it is completely different from the first game. You now have free range movement instead of grid-based actions that are very linear. This time you can move wherever you want within the guided circle as your character, and it seems once you finish your run, you can stop behind any wall and that circle will spawn on your new placement, giving you a new area to cover. Now I don't know how many attacks you can do with this, that's really still up in the air, but the only attack we see Mario do without any weapons first, which probably means it's very early on, is a slide attack to knock down the Shy Guy Rabbit. Of course, after vaulting the half wall. Team moves are still a thing. Rabbid Peach can jump off of Mario's head and use Beepo as a helicopter in order to fly over gaps within the map. And once again, when you see her land, you can see her new area of movement is a small circle, which probably gives her some areas to go around if she wants to hit an enemy and hide behind a wall. She can do that with the Goomba that she lands by. Also, did you notice there are Goombas on the battlefield? The first time we actually get real Mario enemies within this game instead of just rabbit forms of them, and Tony the Tiger Rabbit is still over there. It seems like he actually is just an enemy archetype instead of a boss. Now in this scene, a Bob-omb is flipped over and about to explode. Rabbid Peach can run over, pick it up, and seem to toss it at enemies. Now I don't know if you can control how you toss it, like a way that you can toss it harder or in a certain direction, but it seems like we have a lot more control over these characters this time. Instead of just telling them what line to go into and draw their path out for them, we can actually control them and move them wherever we want, just like a normal game would move. The maps are also a lot more expansive this time, as this one wraps around the base of a volcano, probably all the way around in a 360-degree fashion. And we get to see Rabbid Luigi using his power-up being a frisbee, I guess, and it connects 3 hits with the Shy Guys in front of him. We get to see Rabbid Peach actually use her weapon, and it shoots rockets up into the air, which apparently maybe will land in the proximity of whatever she controls it to land in, and maybe in a small area rain down from above. We then get a scene of Mario using his weapons, his pistols, to shoot 2 Shy Guys in the face, one on the right and one on the left, which he can probably control each one individually if he wants to shoot one across the map and one closer nearby. And of course, the Tiger Rabbit, he's there again. Once again, he's probably just a mini boss, or maybe he's just a boss that comes over and over and over again to fight you, very similar to Girahim in The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Then we get a scene of a new Rabbid companion, maybe, being this girl Rabbid with a giant sword, and it is absolutely slicing up the Shy Guy Rabbids, and the team is actually in shock. So maybe this is a new hero. I don't know who they're supposed to be, or who they're supposed to be based off of. Maybe nobody from Nintendo's universe, somebody new, but there you go. And we could have potentially seen Mario's special attack by using his Fire Spark. Everybody everybody has one on the playing field, and maybe they all do different things depending on who you match them up with for multiple different, combinations. Maybe fire works differently with Mario than it would with Peach, and then, the ice one works differently with Luigi than it would Rabbids Mario or something like that. They all have different ways of utilizing their sparks, but this one summons a giant fiery ring in the sky to drop all these fireballs on the map and the enemies. And one last thing with the official artwork, it does show Bowser in there, maybe even being a playable character for the heroes this time around, as it seems like his army is also under some type of mind control. So we'll see how that happens, and there's probably still a lot more to know about. The game doesn't even release until next year, so there's still so much time to hear more about this game, but I am very excited. So whether you were leaked this morning, or you saw the Ubisoft presentation and actually got to see this live and was shocked by it, how do you feel about the new Mario Rabbids game? This is a little bit of an E3 present for us Nintendo fans before the actual E3 Nintendo Direct, which is just 3 days away. So it's very exciting to see what else Nintendo has planned for this year and this big presentation coming up, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this new Mario Rabbids game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and once again, subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo, and hit that notification bell so that you can be updated as soon as these new game trailers start popping up live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.